On a cold December morning, when the world was wrapped in a thick blanket of winter, a young boy awoke to a stillness unlike any other. His bedroom was touched by a pale blue glow, the kind that arrives only after a night of heavy snowfall. He pushed aside the curtain and gazed out the window, discovering that every tree, rooftop, and field had vanished beneath smooth, unbroken waves of white. The world looked reborn, quiet, clean, and shimmering under the early light of dawn. The boy felt excitement rise inside him like a spark. Snow changed everything, turning the ordinary into the magical. Without waiting another moment, he hurried into his warm clothes and rushed outside. The air greeted him with a crisp bite, frosting his breath as it drifted away in pale clouds. Each step sank deeply into the untouched snow, leaving perfect footprints behind him. He decided, almost instantly, what he would do. He would build a snowman. Not just any snowman, but the grandest, tallest, most magnificent snowman he had ever imagined. The soft snow packed easily beneath his gloved hands as he shaped the first ball, rolling it across the yard until it grew from the size of a melon to a boulder. For the second, he made it smaller and carefully lifted it atop the first. The head was shaped last, round and smooth as a polished stone. He found pieces of coal for the eyes, a tangerine for the nose, and used stones for the snowman's smiling mouth. A soft scarf was wrapped around its neck, and an old hat from the hallway closet was placed proudly on its head. The snowman looked charmingly alive, as if he were thinking friendly thoughts behind that frozen grin. The boy stepped back and admired his creation. There was a sense of pride swelling inside him, the kind that comes from building something with care and imagination. He circled the snowman again and again, adjusting small details, tucking the scarf just right, smoothing the snow around the shoulders, brushing excess flakes from the cheeks. If he had been allowed, he would have stayed outside all day, but as evening approached, his parents called him inside. The cold began to bite too deeply, and reluctantly, he left his snowman standing alone in the yard as dusk settled around them. Inside the warm house, the boy continued to think about the snowman. From his bedroom window, he could see it faintly under the rising moon, a pale figure standing silent and still in the snowy world. He brushed his teeth, climbed into bed, and closed his eyes. But sleep did not come easily. Something in his heart felt restless, as though the night was holding its breath, waiting. The house eventually settled into the quiet rhythm of slumber, yet the boy remained awake, staring at the faint silhouette of his snowman. Outside, the moonlight brightened, bathing the world in silver. The snow glistened like powdered diamonds. The boy blinked once, then again, unsure if he was dreaming, but something had changed. The snowman moved, slowly, gently, almost shyly. The snowman lifted his head. His coal eyes gleamed as they took in the yard around him. Then his arms shifted, brushing snow from his broad chest. The boy's heart thudded loudly. He sat upright, pressing his face to the window. The snowman took a step, an actual, deliberate step, his body swaying with surprising grace despite his size. Unable to contain his curiosity, the boy slipped out of bed, down the stairs and out the door in his slippers and robe. The cold embraced him in an instant, but excitement warmed him from within. Under the moonlit sky stood the snowman, fully alive. His expression was unchanged, still wearing that simple, cheerful smile. But his presence radiated a gentle warmth, despite being made of ice. He regarded the boy with an air of calm understanding. The boy approached slowly, his breath quickening. The snowman nodded, as if acknowledging the boy's presence and offering friendship. The boy circled the snowman much like he had earlier that day, but now every movement felt surreal. Every shift of the snowman's body proved he was truly alive. It was a wonder too big to speak of, too extraordinary to name. The night around them felt enchanted. As though sensing the boy's wonder, the snowman gestured toward the house, inviting the boy to show him more. The two companions stepped inside together, leaving soft trails of snowflakes and shimmering footprints. The snowman explored the house with quiet fascination. He wandered through the kitchen, marveling at the warmth and steam rising from the kettle. He inspected the lights, the chairs, the curtains, and the Christmas decorations that glowed softly in different corners. The warmth made him uncomfortable, causing beads of melting frost to form on his arms, so the boy led him outside again, where the cold soothed him. Once in the yard, the snowman paused, thinking. Then he extended a hand toward the boy, a clear invitation for adventure. The boy placed his small hand on the snowman's large, cold palm, trusting him completely. The snowman bent his knees and with a graceful leap, soared into the air. The boy gasped, clinging tightly. They rose higher and higher, the wind rushing past them. The rooftops shrank below, the trees turned into dark patches, and the whole world stretched like a map bathed in moonlight. They flew above the forest where branches sagged under heavy snow, above rivers frozen into smooth ribbons, above rolling hills and quiet towns lit by golden windows. The boy felt weightless, filled with exhilaration as they cut through clouds, like swimmers gliding through water. Miles away from home, they passed over shimmering lakes, where ice reflected the moon, creating double worlds of silver. They soared above mountains whose peaks sparkled like crystals. The snowman held the boy securely, guiding them effortlessly through winter's vastness. Soon, the distant lights of a great gathering appeared, an entire field filled with snowmen and snowwomen from lands far and wide. They stood in cheerful clusters, each uniquely shaped, tall ones with elegant hats, short ones with button eyes, round ones, thin ones, some with branches for arms and others with scarves and boots. Music drifted through the cold air, carried by a gentle winter wind. The boy realized they had arrived at a gathering unlike any other, a magical festival held only once a year, attended by snowmen from every corner of the world. Fires made of cold flames that didn't melt, anything flickered in blue-white rings. Snowmen danced in slow circles, their bodies swaying with a grace surprising for beings made of snow. The air was filled with joy, laughter, and celebration. The boy and his snowman joined in the festivities. Snowmen introduced themselves with gestures and nods. Some showed off special talents. One juggled snowballs that never broke. Another spun like a top, scattering glittery flakes. A group formed a choir, humming soft winter melodies that sounded like wind moving through icicles. The boy felt welcomed, cherished, and part of something magical. Then the festival lights dimmed. A hush settled over the crowd as a path opened through the snowmen. A tall, regal figure, made entirely of perfectly carved snow, approached, wearing a crown shaped from frozen starlight. This majestic snowman seemed to radiate the very spirit of winter. He greeted them with a gentle bow and extended a frost-covered hand to the boy, acknowledging his courage for journeying so far. The boy felt honored, humbled by the beauty of this enchanted gathering. It was a night unlike any he had ever lived, a night where dreams took shape and walked beside him. After the celebration continued with more dancing, swirling snow performances, and glowing spectacles of frost magic, the snowman gently guided the boy away. The stars shone brighter now, as though aware that the night's adventures were preparing to end. They lifted into the air once more. The journey back was quieter, filled with a soft, peaceful feeling. The boy leaned against the snowman's solid shoulder, feeling safe and grateful. Winter's world stretched beneath them in silence, touched by the soft glow of dawn now approaching. As they descended into the boy's yard, the first hints of sunrise brushed the horizon with pale pink. The snowman set the boy gently on the ground. The house remained dark, still unaware of the magical journey. The snowman looked at the boy with a tender expression, silent but full of meaning. The boy understood. Their time together was ending. Winter magic was delicate, and dawn had a way of dispersing dreams back into the world of imagination. The boy reached out, but the snowman took a step back, returning to the spot where he had stood the day before. The light grew stronger, and the snowman lifted his head toward the brightening sky. The boy whispered a farewell, only in his heart. He lingered for a moment before returning inside, climbing back up to bed. Exhaustion settled over him like a warm blanket. Within minutes, he drifted into a deep sleep, filled with memories of flying through starry skies and dancing among snowmen. When morning came, the boy rushed outside, eager to see his friend again. But as he stepped into the yard, his breath froze. There, in the soft sunlight, lay nothing but a pile of snow. The scarf lay toppled on the ground. The hat rested nearby. The snowman had melted. The boy stood still, his heart sinking. Yet he did not cry. Instead, he slowly knelt beside the remains, touching the cold snow gently. The memories of the night shimmered in his mind, too clear, too vivid, too alive to be just a dream. Though his friend was gone, the magic remained within him. He knew he would remember the snowman forever. The flights above sparkling landscapes, the festival of snow people, the kindness of the winter prince, the warmth of a friendship formed in the coldest night of the year. In that moment, he understood something important. Magic does not stay forever, but its memory can warm a heart for a lifetime. With that realization, he stood, brushed the snow from his gloves, and looked up at the bright winter sky. Somewhere beyond the clouds, he felt the whisper of a promise, that every snowfall carried with it a chance for another wonder, another miracle, another story written in frost. And as long as he kept believing, winter would always hold a spark of magic, just waiting to be found.